The feathered ladies in question had produced this lot just hours earlier. The green trays were removed from the pallets and their fragile cargo lifted out. Making mayonnaise requires only the egg yolk, not the white, which meant they had to be cracked open and separated. For that, they were heading to a truly remarkable contraption. This bit of kit is one of my all-time favourites. The egg separator. This incredible machine was capable of separating the yolk from the white of more than 2 million eggs a day.
What on earth is going on? How is it doing that? It's got egg yolks on the top and it's got a cup of egg whites in the... How is it doing that?
It's not doing it that much different than you just did with the boil. The eggs come to the machine, a knife will cut the shell, then the egg breaks, the content will fall down, and as you can see, the yolk will stay in the upper cup, and the egg white will flow nicely to the lower cup.
So the yolk is in one little plastic hand, and the egg white is in a little plastic tray underneath.
That's correct.
It's an amazing machine, what it does and the quantity it does. It's a blade that's cutting the egg in half and then dumps the innards of the egg into a couple of little cups. And then those two cups do the separation between the yolk and the white.
The eggs entered the machine and blades sliced the bottoms, allowing the contents to flow out into small cups below. As they passed through the separator, subtle vibrations encourage the egg whites to drain out through slits in the sides of the cups. Once separated, the white was tipped out into a hopper below, followed by the yolk into a separate hopper.
It's difficult to separate the yolk from the white because there's a very delicate membrane that surrounds the yolk. Outside of the yolk, we've got the white, which is actually two types. There's a thick and there's a thin white, and we've got to be very careful to separate those two whites from the yolk without piercing that membrane, otherwise the yolk will break. If the yolk bursts, then we'll end up with the yolk and the white mixed together, which isn't really any good for mayonnaise.
Any egg cups contaminated by a split yolk were immediately rejected thanks to a clever high-speed camera, which took a photograph of every single one.
At the end of the machine, there's a blue light flashing. This blue light is illuminating the egg white and the yolk. These will look very different on there. Now, if there is any yolk remaining in the area where the white should be, egg white will shine really brightly in this image, and you'll be able to identify them and reject them.
Amazing that this machine actually exists, because in years gone by, it would have literally been dozens of people lined up just cracking eggs to get the yolk, and fraught with getting bits of shell in amongst it.
Thanks to this clever piece of engineering, there was no chance of any fragments ending up in the mayonnaise.
That is amazing. That may be the best machine I have ever seen.